Good morning, everyone. This is Lauren Darr with International Association of Pet Fashion Professionals and Left Paw Press. I'm coming to you this morning to do the March 2017 Pet Business Planning Forecast that was written for the Pet Business Planning Almanac by my co-author, Ellen Zucker. I know it's a little bit late that we're doing this, but we had some technical difficulties earlier in the month, and for some reason audio wasn't coming through, so I ended up deleting the forecast and things like that. So it took a little while to kind of figure out what was going on from a technical standpoint. Many of you know I am not the most technically astute person in the world. So, but I learn and I try, that's for sure. So we are going to go ahead and do the March forecast, even though you're probably getting this a little bit late, but there's still plenty of good nuggets of information from our astrologer, Ellen Zucker, especially since we just had a full moon. So, let me, just for those folks that don't know what I'm reading from, and I'm basically just going to read this verbatim from the Pet Business Planning Almanac 2017 that is co-written by myself and astrologer Ellen Zucker. And if you're wondering, what's all included in that, you'll find that there's all kinds of useful information. The reason that this was created was to help companies with their marketing planning and blog posts, social media planning, those kinds of things, with a focus and emphasis on pets and the pet industry. So, needless to say, most of the folks that get this Pet Business Planning Almanac are in the pet industry. But if you're a company that, has a mascot in the office or something like that, those kinds of companies have also been ones to pick up a copy of the almanac. Also, what it includes, in addition to Ellen's wonderful astrology forecasts that are broken down by month, and she also does a whole year overview and gives information on like retrogrades, and also even includes like a fashion by the signs section. In addition to that, we have the traditional holidays and observances, unconventional holidays, we have pet holidays, and all of those are broken down by month, by date, and by week. And there's a listing of media publications that are in the pet industry, in addition to trade shows, conferences, events that happen in the pet industry, fashion weeks, of course, I included those, organizations. And this time we included tons of marketing articles in there that would prove to be even more useful to people that are looking at marketing their pet business or, their pet related posts and things like that. Okay, so March 2017, the forecast from Ellen Zucker, our pet fashion astrologer. Passion and inspiration rule when the lion steps into March. High energy and action combined with sensitivity. That's because the 8 out of 10 planets now traveling in fire and water are great for emotional expression and grandstanding, not so much for objectivity and common sense. Vulnerability is just under the surface of bravado. The gym is a good place to work off fire's excess energy. Enjoy the drama. Participate if you like. Just don't burn your bridges and wait for temperatures to cool before committing to anything of substance. Jupiter, whose energy exaggerates whatever it touches, stand opposite Uranus, planet of ingenuity and eccentricity. Both stand at a right angle from transformational Pluto all month. Unconventional fixes are the ones that work best. If they are high-tech, so much the better, but what is most important is to get to the heart of the problem. Meanwhile, Venus, planet of attraction and beauty, turns retrograde for 6 weeks beginning March 4th. This opens the door to reviving dormant relationships and a second look at negotiations of all types. Artists and designers, listen up, use this opportunity to go through your files and look for inspiration from past work. The term retrograde contains the word retro, and retro looks find favor now. That's some really great, amazing insight out there for my pet fashion designers. So that was something to definitely listen up to. Meanwhile, Venus, planet of attraction, let me move on. I just read that paragraph. And while you're mixing your color palette, consider that in Aries, Venus is brash and bold. Aries, ruled by Mars, is associated with the color red. Do keep in mind that Venus is associated with money. Under Venus retrograde, the potential is higher than normal for delayed payments and sluggish cash flow, something to be very highly aware of. Don't overextend yourself and put off starting new business ventures until Venus stations direct on April 15th, which is also tax day. Passions lower a few notches when Mars steps into steady Taurus on March 9th. Mars in Taurus and Venus in Aries create a condition called a mutual reception, when each planet is in the sign ruled by the other. This creates a simpatico relationship between the planet associated with femininity and the planet associated with masculinity. A mutual reception between Mars and Venus is great for psychological integration and understanding between the two genders, not to mention romantic sparks. It lasts until April 3rd. Reality checks on the full moon on the 12th. Everything is not always what it seems. This full moon energy will remove the veil from your eyes. It's time to adjust. The sun moves into Aries just before sunrise on the East Coast on March 20th. This event marks the vernal equinox and heralds the new season of spring. If you live in the northern hemisphere, from now through summer solstice, the hours of daylight overtake those of darkness. Spirits lighten as well. Nonetheless, wise old Saturn advises for best results to balance your exuberance with discipline. Sounds like some great advice that Ellen gives us as usual, and as always, in the Pet Business Planning Almanac. If you'd like to have a copy so that you have the full year forecast in advance, and all of the other things that I mentioned that's in the table of contents, you can find it on Amazon, and we included a link in the post so that you can find it there if you are so inclined. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful, warm, and cozy day because it's pretty chilly and snowy here in Chicagoland. Have a wonderful day.